Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube live. I hope you all are doing well. The excitement this week at WazirX is palpable, and we are all pretty enthusiastic about Floki being listed. And I can sense that the community is also very much, on board with all the excitement that we are bringing with Floki being listed on the exchange. So I happen to look at some of the tweets that people have been posting, and it's so evident that this was much awaited, and I'm so glad we are doing this. So without further ado, let's just get into it. So today's session will be focused on getting to know the Floki ecosystem a little better, and for that, we have someone from the Floki team itself who will be answering some very important question, something that you might have on your mind. And I think it will give you more clarity about Floki as a token. And of course, you all mostly are aware of what it is, what it entails, and the whole backstory behind it. But hearing it from someone who is, a part of the team is definitely going to be very interesting. So, yeah, let's just dive right into it. We have with us Pedro from the community relations team at Floki. Welcome to the show, Pedro. We are so glad to have you here. Um, Before we get started, do you want to tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, your role at Floki, and what is it that you do?
Of course. Well, thank you so much for coordinating this. Excited. As you can see, our community is rallying around. We're very excited to see, that being said, my name is Pima, proud Floki Viking, 2017, and I've been with for a year and a half, and I assist tasks ranging from community relations tasks as well. So we're very excited about today's.
Right. That's great. Thanks a lot for the introduction. So, we have a few questions for you, and I think let's just start with the basics itself. Um, Tell us a little bit about the backstory of Loki. I think we all know about the inception with Elon
Mhm.
Musk's tweet, and how the whole idea of Loki came into being. But let's just understand how the idea of creating a token out of a tweet actually happened, and then growing the community from there. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about that.
No, most certainly. Most as you stated, right, on June 21, Elon Musk that he's going to have a Shiba Inu. So, of course, based on that, capitalized on that to create like Floki. The community immediately rallied, and it just started to grow. And as that growth continued, members around the world started to engage. Regional developer transitioned out of the project here, is how the community was able to take the project into the direction that we've seen. All right, so it's a understand it, can appreciate it. Those that don't understand that the power that the community is critical to the success of a project.
Yeah, right. So I think the whole meme coin frenzy took the crypto ecosystem by storm in 2020 mostly, and after that, with Shib and Dogecoins and all of that, it just sort of started accelerating. But I think
Mhm.
Floki stands out because they have some very important fundamentals which are not there in, say, other meme coins as such. And so, what was the idea behind creating the purpose, like educating the community and all of that, and creating those three pillars and the foundation, etc.? Basically, creating something which has a larger purpose rather than just a token which people would be investing in. So I think that is something that we would want to know in a little more detail.
So one of the helps Floki stand out. See that based on our three pillars, okay, utility and with charity record, that can be independently verified world. Now, in terms of you will notice, right, that currency, and we really in the world, and that's not hyperbole. That we live by, and you see via our whether we're tackling food insecurity and gardens movement, or when we're reacting in the world when needed, such as what earthquake that we witnessed in Turkey, uh, a charity raise currently, if I'm not mistaken, that is going to go direct impacted. So these are some of it that really stand out on the charity side. But some is that Floki is into a DAO for some time, where the power is people, where the community members have a direction that Floki goes, mundane or basic like decisions like, oh, like what color on a new logo or a shirt, no, reduce the burn, reduce the do we want to on the cross chain bridge. These are very very at the highest level, but like Fortune 50 or Fortune 1, this is a DAO. The community matters to account, and that's something that is sacred in all the decisions that the core team. Beyond wrestle in the meme space, there's dear, and so do the rest of our community. First of all, is we're always looking, or just interested in the present of our Valhalla metaverse. Sometime you could actually go and enjoy that, and you'll notice that we're building for the future metaverse game. It has where you'll be able to engage in whether
Right.
you might want to ship, you could do that. If that's not, you'd be interested in more on the mechanics of it, you could do that as well. So interact with your community members. There'll be ways for you to, and then of course there'll be ways for you to interact, like characters and NFTs in the game, trainable, and all this, which is important. Which is previously that we're always looking, and that's important. Our community demands it. Our developers, I don't. They're always working so hard that are delivered are not just of our community, but in the industry. That being said, high, okay. The issue of Floki education is, and if you were to look at what's happening, there's going to be over 1 billion users so are wanting to get into crypto, but it challenges into the of crypto security, awareness. These are also Floki University will offer a platform where some will be free because it's based on the platform. We could have widespread crypto. A token will be critical for some. You could engage in University of Floki. A little bit about the education. We talked a little bit about the chair. We really dive into the enhanced Floki aside for many of other is something that is the Flokify, right? Short for Floki Finance. Actually, it's a series of finance that Floki is going to be. Product that has been released is the Flokify Locker. It's it's leading the industry right with the features that get into the weeds on Flokify Locker. So much that sets us, or it's our community, it's the products that it's the charities, and of course it's our vision moving forward.
Right. So, my next question was actually going to be on the same lines because I wanted to ask about the Floki University. So, what are
Sure.
the plans of sustaining this initiative of educating the masses, and how do you target the users? So, who are the people who are eligible to get enrolled in Floki University? How can they learn about this, and what is the long-term goal of this?
Okay. So we will be rolling out several to University of Floki. So it's marketing campaigns. We'll be targeting individuals also outside the crypto space to be able to, and we'll be having a lot shortly. I think some folks may not be able to hear me.
Yeah, it's a little difficult because I think there's some distortion in the voice, and maybe if you come closer to the mic, because I think there are some lags.
Yeah, I'll put the headset on easier because I have a
Okay, sure,
wireless right now.
that's fine.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
All right. So yeah, getting back to Floki University.
Oh yeah, so well, right? So there will be specific campaigns directed to individuals in crypto via partners. Outside of that, there will be other partnerships that will be announced outside the crypto space. The idea is to be able to enhance crypto awareness and fill the gap in crypto, and that's where University of Floki really will provide space.
Right. And anyone can enroll in these
Oh
educational
yeah,
initiatives, right? Okay. So there's no bar, there's no
yeah.
criteria. It's for everyone.
Yeah, there'll be like technical requirements, right? Like you would need the computer. You would outside of that, there will be free education features that'll be accessible to the masses. But the token will be instrumental in the enhanced features that will be offered by.
Okay. I think the next question is something that everyone's sort of familiar with and also wants to know. This is about the partnerships with Indian sports teams. So we know about the Kerala Blasters partnership, and now the recent one with Indian Maharajas. And I think it created a lot of buzz around Floki. So, but I
Mhm.
think apart from that, not just in India, globally also there were some really exciting campaigns about Floki awareness. So maybe just talk a little bit about the idea of making people aware of Floki, and also making them sort of understand what it is about. So because I think sports collaborations is a very clever way to sort of get that audience interest and reach more users. But what about the
Of
others, like
course.
on sports, etc.?
Yeah. So how we approach crypto awareness is it's very important to us, right? That and I'll break it down for you. So at Floki, our partner critical dimension of promoting growth within the community. And with those strong partnerships, there is awareness not only to our community, but outside. And we get to herald the products, our services, and the projects. That being said, our marketing is, and he's designed campaigns all over the world to make sure people know who and when we do it. And obviously, this continues to help. with our awareness, we engage in. Now, of course, Saber plans these campaigns before we see anything posted, right? And that's it's testament to what I mentioned earlier, that we're so Saber obviously is always looking at the right partnerships, the right regions, and everything. All right, nothing's ever random here at Floki. Now, all the plan is to prepare us for the onset of the next bull run. So people understand what Floki is all about. People
Yeah.
understand how important security is for us, engaged our community really is. And of course, this starts to build one block on top of another. Also important to state that the core team has put a strong emphasis on it. And with that sustainability, our partnerships are key. We don't a one-time, partnership. We want to grow with the partners that obviously enhances the sustainability. Of course, how the resources are managed is critical. Sure, that as we continue to build the brand and work with our partnerships, that we're our target audience, but to other individuals that are in the crypto space or want to get into the information that's readily available, transparent, and our community is there to embrace any members to come in and ask us questions. That's what we do. One thing that's important is that the marketing trends, designed by Saber and implement, we don't follow trends. We like to set the trends, right? That's something that sets us. We're very happy about that, okay? Because it's important. You want to set yourself aside with utility, the charities we engage in, perfect. But it goes beyond that, right? It's like we make waves. We're constantly trying to be at the right place at the right time. And this happens by design. These different dynamics really do help in how we target individuals, how we to our community, and then of course we embrace community members when they're with us, right? Because and how the countries and cities that we engage, it's never random. Saber always selects them very strategically. Of course, we listen to when they say, "Oh, that there's a vibrant community here or someplace else." Then we do, there's tons of research and marketing data that's looked at, and that's we engage it to the T.
Right.
And then it's about the sports teams, from the Kerala Blasters, and how we go. And well, it's important to state, right, and I said it before, that how and I want the viewers to know that we actually have a very large, vibrant in Floki. So it was important for us to highlight that. But say an understanding of Indian culture, but he also has a lot of strong, making strong partnerships and marketing deals there was very seamless for us. Not only was it seamless, but it's a strong sense of pride for us to be able to do these campaigns, especially in the direction that India is going in the crypto tech industry. It, it's obvious, right? To anybody that studied the space, the not only is, but this sector in specific, it's booming with talent, people that need education and are looking to adopt crypto. So it would just seem to be, but it's always under a master plan.
Right. I think that's great that Floki is so bullish about India, and you're right that we have one of the fastest growing crypto communities in the world. So it's very exciting for everyone with all the partnerships happening with the sports teams, which is also something that people look forward to and follow very ardently here in the country. So I think that is a very good point what you just said, that you are setting the trends and not just following them, because it's clearly working out very well for you. And yeah, I think we, as in India, I think we would also like to know what is the potential that you see going forward, not just for Floki as a token, but crypto overall. Like you just mentioned that it has a great booming talent base, and there's a growing community. Everyone's interested in being a part of this movement. Where do you see this going, maybe say 5-10 years from now?
Well, I think that it's only going to continue to grow at the current pace of innovation. We're not even taking into account like any new like breakthroughs in blockchain, which I have no doubt that India will produce some of. We've already seen this, right? I mean, including like your platform included, right? Like there's very, very legend folks that want to move the technology forward. And then of course that come up, enhancing the space is good for our project, right? Rising tides lifts all. Specifically to India, like I have my opinions, and I'll show most certainly share it, and have been doing the work for it, right? I mean, earlier this year, the World Bank said that India's expected economies in out of the 7 largest emerging markets and developing economies, it's ready to go. But moreover, there's been countless research that's been done that the crypto tech industry in India is going to grow exponentially over $2 billion, and that's just by in the next couple of years. So in 5 vibrant growth sprawl, I see countless opportunities for inception of new projects and potential breakthroughs in the tech. So yeah, growing with our partners in India, understanding the demands and trends, relationship moving forward.
Right. So does that mean that you have other activities planned for India as well, similar to how you have done partnerships with us in the sports teams?
Like Saber's our commander in chief in all things marketing, and unfortunately, I can't divulge any specific details on what we plan to do next. What here at Floki, we don't sleep, and you shouldn't be surprised with our next step. But yeah, I just leave it at that.
Okay, so there's an element of surprise there, but we'll continue to be
Yeah,
optimistic about it.
of
So
course.
right. Um, Tell us about the range of DeFi products that are expected from the Floki universe, because we have been reading the white paper, and everyone's pretty excited that what is it that Floki is going to launch, what is it that we can expect out of the DeFi products that are coming in. So maybe explain a little bit about that.
Okay, most certainly. So Flokify, obviously, being short for Floki Finance, is going to provide a series of different financial products that will be launched, throughout to the future. Our first product, being the Flokify Locker, is live. We were able to launch in Q4 of 2022. Um, and something they're very proud of, right? I like to start with the things. Is don't take our word for it, right? Look at how we were audited by Certec. The Flokify Locker is actually ERC 1155 compliant. Why that's important? It is the only digital asset locker solution with support for this multi-token 5, and it allows you to lock a combination of fungible and non-fungible token types. Okay, deployed in a single contract on one transaction. So you can a host of different digital assets, could be with one fee, right? So of course that saves on transaction costs, it saves and this is something that we're very proud of, right? But um, it's important to state, quite frankly, it's the industry's most innovative protocol for securing digital assets. You can secure your liquidity pool token, your NFTs, fungible tokens, multi tokens. Currently, we have over 31 million in total value locked, supported by 12 blockchains. Ethereum, BSC, Polygon, Optimism, KCC, OKX chain, Arbitrum, Chronos, and it's just to give you an idea of where we're going. Now, there'll continue to be innovations in this space, but I think that with the only one currently where you can it sets the standard five, that's critical, but then also most token locking protocols only let amount of time, right? When it comes to our locker protocol, it's 10,000 years, 100,000 years, and it just goes added to the security. We want projects to understand that if you want to keep your assets safe, you want to let your understand that security is paramount to you.
Right.
Then of course, Locker is the product, you know, that you should be looking at.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. I think the emphasis on security is actually something that is very important right now, because that's what most users are concerned about as well. So I think it's very
Yeah.
exciting that it's one of the first combination of non-fungible and fungible tokens which can be locked in together. Apart from that, I think what we want to know. I think that's something that we can conclude with, and then we can sort of go into the questions which everyone has asked, but more on that later. So, Floki is known for its community, like it's ever growing. Everyone's a contributor. Everyone's really, involved in all the activities. There are lots of participants across the world. So to know that there are a lot of Web3 builders out there, and they are looking at creating this community first approach for their projects. So, what is your advice to them? Like, maybe three things that you can tell them to build a strong community, grow the community, get them involved, and how to keep them engaged as well.
Okay. So, and three, right? Three advice. Okay. Well, I've had to narrow it down to three. Already in understanding that your community deserves the very best. Okay. And make where true engagement and community participation is evident. Such are the benefits in a DAO, right? I would say that that would be priority number one. Is you need to focus on utility, right? Many projects don't do this, but if you focus on and you look at delivering a superior product or a service that can, then that's a step in the right direction.
Right.
And then third, narrow it down to three because I have so many, but the third I would have to say is communicate community. All right, good news, bad news, like who knows, right? Like whatever's going on, keep the community. And it's important for the team to have a mechanism where the diverse visions and needs that may be identified from specific, and it's also a great pool of talent. In your community can have the that you may need. It may have some blockchain or coders, right, that are ready to go. Hey, like those three pillars would be a really, really good start.
Okay. So, more transparency, more engagement, and of course, utility are some of the things that builders should keep in mind while growing a community. So, yeah, I think that's
That's right.
great. And, thanks, Pedro, for sharing all these insights with us. We are very excited about Floki. And as you know, we also have received some
Mhm.
questions from our community members. So, how we are going to go about is this, like, we are going to display the questions. We are going to like say it out loud, and then you can answer it. And, whoever's asked the question, just sort of, stay tuned. And if you receive your response, that's great. That's how we're going to do it, and winners will be announced by the 31st of March, but that's something I'll talk about later. So we have shortlisted some of the questions which were very pertinent to the session today. And so yeah, without further ado, I think we would like to get started. We can have the
Cool.
questions displayed on screen. And yeah. All right. So the first one is Floki belongs to the meme coin category. It's a direct competition between giants like SHIB and Doge. So how will it be different for the investors who have also invested in the other meme coins? So what is the differentiating factor for Floki?
Oh well, there's several, right? First, I'd like to preface with we're the growth of those projects in the meme space. If you look at Doge, generation meme coin, uh, it was seen how powerful the community can actually drive like innovation, but just in general, like the buzz and the marketing. Then if you look at consider like second generation, picked on the successes of what they saw in Doge, very much like the third generation of in the meme space. It focused heavily on strong marketing, all right, and very important pillar of charity. Because what sets us aside is that we're a DAO. As I mentioned
Yeah.
earlier, the community has a. You're just not a token holder. You are a valued member, right? That sets us aside. Anyone that joins the VC, and any time that we host one, you're gonna you're allowed to ask questions, and we address them accordingly. So our charity is number one. I mean, how many projects have a school in every underdeveloped nation in the world? We've currently built 4 schools around the world, education to communities that couldn't provide education for their community members because they didn't have this with some of our partners. That's why it's so important to have strong partners and to listen to the community. That there's needs all around the world, but you need to be laser focused and be able to provide assistance. Floki is leading in terms of like me, in terms of the Flokify products that we're launching with our protocol. We like to lead, but we're very happy with the success that Doge and SHIB have experienced. Start from where we did, grow so fast to over 440,000 members, be within the top 100 projects in the world. That's something that we're very proud of. Touch upon earlier, it's important how secure our products are. When we build products, we build with CertTech. We're audited by CertTech. So we could say that, yeah, we're secure, take their word for it, right? The independent security firm, CertTech, when we build, we make sure that security is paramount, our community is heard, our utility marketing leads and sets trends. And I would say that that's a really good place to start with the charities that we engage with. And then we're constantly building, constantly that we provide to our community the very best.
I think those are some really exciting accomplishments and milestones. So I hope this answers your question. Okay. So the next one is, why is Floki called the people's crypto? I think you touched upon this in the first question itself, but if there's anything you want to add to this, maybe.
And I guess what I'd like to add is like it's like for real. It's not a gimmick. It's not a slow shirts, right? Like we really mean this. Okay. We in crypto in general can really revolutionize the way the world works. It puts the power in the right, and something that's very dear to us is we want to have mechanisms in place, economies that need it. For example, Valhalla, it has play to earn mechanics. So you're going to be able to actually earn revenue, phone or your PC, anywhere around the world. All you need is a phone and an internet connection. Add an additional cash flow into your which may not be a lot for some people in the States and some but in other countries it may be the difference, right? And so that's like we want to put the power in the hands of the people. The DAO vote function, and we want to make sure that where there's need, we can go ahead and meet those demands. This unfortunate event in Turkey, there was a need to send humanitarian assistance. Floki answers the call. We did the our NFT camp earn uh, raise about 50 ETH that's going to go to the those that are most in need. So I think that these are just some of the examples are the people's cryptocurrency, right? Like we hold that through and through is very, and if you are in our community, you are part of our community, and we feel and we take tremendous pride in that.
So I think to sum it up, it would be empowering people is why it's called people's crypto. Okay, so the next one is, what's your plan for the future with Floki that will really bring the crypto community together, help in the mass adoption of crypto? Right. So I think this question is more directed towards, how can the crypto community be more cohesive, and also adoption can be increased, not just for like one specific token, but overall. So yeah.
Yeah. So here, I think number one, that our marketing campaigns. If there's somebody in graduate school right now and they're doing, some crypto projects adopt futures, past to move the technology forward, and they study Floki, it's the perfect. Since Floki started and our marketing started to ramp up, there have been countless of imitation, and people want to emulate our success. Of course, it's it's awkward to see that. We want, right, is for people to understand, right, that what our project does, right, support, right. I think it's important that we increase the education crypto and those that want to get in crypto. So University of Floki is going to help with that, but it's our partnerships that also, with the partnerships that we build with, people are going to understand that this is a lot more than just, there's serious utility here. And of course, I may don't take my word for it, right? Like Certic said that our Flokify locker contract, right? So these are things that are super important to us. So as when our partners and then they start to express the direction that our project it is, we kind of turn the misnomer of oh, the meme space, we kind of turn that on and move forward. So I think the education is key, our partnerships is key, listening to our community, and then lending a hand where a hand is needed, right? Continue with the charitable that we're doing, and be ready for the future. We don't know what the be ushered in. What we do know is that come bull, come bear, we continue to build.
Right. I think that's very important, and also sort of motivating that, be it bull or be it bear, you can just keep building in crypto, and there's no, crypto doesn't stop.
Yeah.
So okay, so moving on to the next question. Mm, right. So this is about what fundamentals make Floki a unique and secure ecosystem, and that someone should rely on. So I think they are talking about what are the core principles, maybe, which makes it stand out from the other tokens.
Well, we're a DAO. I
Yeah.
think is critical. Okay. Our utility. I mean, you don't see that uh, too often. Charity, community combined, right? In full force with a greater sense of purpose, right? I think that that right there sets us aside. the initiatives that we engage in outside of business as usual, right? We're tackling food insecurity with the Million Gardens movement, whether we're building schools, whether we're sending humanitarian assistance to victims of this. We're constantly moving, constantly evolving. We say utility, but there's so much that goes in it, right? Like how many projects are developing a play to earn extreme amount of level of detail that's available right now. A lot of projects talk about what you can play right now, and in addition to that, our Flokify products with the Flokify token locker. I mean, it's revolutionary. So, these a lot of projects talk, and Floki, we deliver.
Right. That makes sense. I think that's very important. And you also spoke about the Million Garden movement, which I think most people are aware of. But yeah, um, it's actually pretty nice to know that all these good turns that are being done by Floki is what is also growing the community. And this is not just another meme coin, but has a very different approach towards the community. I also just want to sort of point out the Floki toy behind you. I just noticed it. It's pretty nice. So yeah, everyone can see it. It's really good. So yeah. Okay, so the next
Yeah.
question: how would you keep your network safe from hackers? Do you have any strategies to avoid hacking? Okay, again, another important question about the security of the network. So
Yep. So, I mean, we spoke a little bit about this earlier on how important security is for us, right? So, we need to make sure that every community member knows how important security is for us. So, that's why now with Certec, we build our financial products, right? We, we put into motion the recommendations that are made, and you could actually go to our audit scores, and it's important that that we're transparent about that, because we want people to feel okay.
right.
The crypto space could be very scary. You hear stories, right, and it's unfortunate, but when we build tech, we want our community to understand that we take that serious. That we just did a major token burn over the from the cross-chain bridge, and that was essentially, it was to avoid potential vulnerabilities. This year there was over $2 billion of that were lost. Security issues, right? So we wanted to make sure that we would remove any potential as it relates to that. Now, of course, it's like no system, but every single initiative or activity that we could engage for our community, we're going to go that route.
Okay. So I think what you're saying is extensive audits from third parties are the key to ensure there is a safe
Mm-hmm.
ecosystem and more transparency,
Mm-hmm.
basically. Right.
That's right.
Got it. Yeah, this is actually something you have spoken about a few times before. Explain the Turkey earthquake relief NFT and how it benefits communities. Actually did talk about it, but let's hear a little bit more about this. So, how is it that you donated so much? How much how much did you raise in funds, and who were the beneficiaries? What how will it be utilized, etc.
Mm. So immediately after the earthquakes that were earlier this year, Floki wanted to act immediately. We actually like Turkish community, and like I mentioned before, you're part of our community. We knew that there was a need. We felt that enough wasn't being done. So from where we sit, the NFT raise, and it was for 0.05 ETH, where we were able to raise about 50 ETH. And right now, what we wanted to make sure is that really needed it, not to like bloated organizations organizations were 50 or 70% fees, and right now the core team, along with some of our partners, those beneficiaries that absolutely need the assistance so that we can put it in their hands as soon as possible. That becomes evident and clear. We will make the appropriate our social media.
Okay, I think that makes sense. So, yeah, so I think maybe we can all stay tuned for any of the updates that you might post about this.
Hmm.
And okay, cool. I think that's also a great initiative about the Turkey relief and a very unique way of donating. I think the whole crypto community has sort of found like very different ways of donating towards the earthquake relief, and so glad that Floki has also done something similar. Okay, so does Floki have a staking program? And if so, can you tell us how we can stake in the platform and if there's any specific amount needed to stake? So,
Most certainly. Well, previously we had a partnership with Dodo, staking program. But if you reference our roadmap, you'll be very pleased that Floki is actually developing their own staking platform, and more updates like very soon. But this is a product that we're very proud of. I wish I could share more details, but just please understand, and it's important that for realize that the hard work, love, and dedication. Developing the Flokify locker protocol is going to go into our staking platform. Touching on this, that our community deserves the best. We want to lead the industry, lead them. Um, so it will be a robust product that will be safe.
okay, got it. So, staking is something that everyone can look forward to, which the Floki platform is
Yes.
developing on its own. So, I guess that answers the question. And okay, what's next? All right. So Floki has been functioning on ERC20 and BSC, and there's a high gas fee on Ethereum, so which is something that small traders are finding hard to deal with. So will Floki shift towards any L2 scaling solutions to lower the fees?
So when Floki launched, obviously we were on the chain, and we were hearing a lot of requests and demands from the community. That so of course we transitioned and augmented, to the BSC side. That made it just exploded. The sprawl that we witnessed was just incredible. Are fairly low as is, right? So the core team to enhance the Floki experience. We want to make sure that people that are doing the lowest fees possible. More recently, we are moving to the OKC chain, and that's right. We're always trying the experience. So if there's something in the future that may be witnessed, it would be expressed via our social media. Right now I can't divulge anything, but we're constantly building, constantly evolving, and we want to enhance the experience for all of our.
Okay. So this might be on the lines of, that's what most users want and most users feel comfortable with. Okay, got it. So I think going to our last question of the day. Yeah, very important. Last year was tough for crypto. How did you guys stay motivated to build in the bear market?
uh well, stay motivated. I mean, that's there was never any issue. There was a loss of focus. To be quite honest, we're kind of like, because a lot of the projects that really don't have any merit or utility will not survive. Anything bad to happen to any of these other projects, but come bear, come bull, and this gave us an opportunity where some projects or individuals may at Floki we saw an opportunity, and now I'll delve a little deeper. Typically in bear markets is that projects reserve resources. They don't want to put out any products. They wait until
Yeah.
the bull comes. That's not what the core team wanted, right? That's not part of cryptocurrency, and our people deserve the very best. So we continued to build on release the Flokify local protocol. We're enhancing the via University of Floki, and it's important because and questions actually you mentioned was like the three, like what three advices would you give folks?
Yeah.
One, communicating directly. When you set a roadmap and a date, right? The core team stated that they were going to deliver Valhalla come hell or high water, and so you want to be able to evaluate the project, evaluate the core members and the developers based on what they could deliver, may be. And I know that seems a bit harsh, but some products, some projects will just say like, what could we do? Here at Floki, we're not dissuaded by any of the external factors, right? Create a superior product. Valhalla is fun. You could play right now. Be able to have a really really good time, understand the mechanics, be prepared. It's launched May at the end of the year, and we're super excited about that. But telling you that there was never an ounce of doubt by any of the community members that we weren't going to be able to like deliver. And this bear market to show the rest of the world, because we knew here at Floki and our community knew, but the rest of the now is looking and saying, wait a minute, like these guys are for real, right? Like they take secure community, they're a DAO and they have those functions. Their play to earn game is, and they're here to revolutionize the way a community can be engaged, and they're not going to stop.
Right. So basically, showing up, delivering on your promises, and being optimistic about, you know, the future of crypto is what made you,
Yeah,
grow in the bear market, basically.
just listening to your community. For example, throughout this whole bear market, our community, deliverables, it takes considerably longer to build a game, right, than it does to maybe do another project.
Yeah.
Our community was asking for like merchandise. Like, wait, I want to be able to get a Valhalla hat, and we were able to launch our shop merchandise set. We were able to do that, and actually, like the plush dolls that you see back
Yeah.
there, like the prototype, which I can't say when, but they're going to be going on pre-order very very soon. Detail, right? And us delivering on what our communities ask. That's our job. That's our role, and we answer the call.
Okay, I think yeah, that's fair. That's really good, and I'm so excited to know about the community first approach of Floki, and listening to all the stories about growing in the bear market and how you manage to stay afloat with all the activities and studying the markets, understanding the pulse of the industry, developing these education awareness programs, and building charitable initiatives. It's very holistic and definitely great potential there. I'm sure the users are equally excited about Floki being listed on WazirX, and you can just see all over social media. It's completely like palpable that how people are pretty bullish about Floki. So thank you so much everyone for participating, and thank you Pedro for coming on to this show and telling us all about Floki. For those of you who asked questions and the ones that we took live, you will receive notifications about the winners and all of that by 31st of March from WazirX itself. So just stay tuned for that. And all those who are asking about Floki being listed in the INR market, it's going to happen soon. So just wait for days, and it's coming. So you will get your chance to buy your Floki with INR. And yeah, I think a great session. And thanks, Pedro, again. I think we also saw some really great participation today, and all thanks to Floki's Buzz. Yeah, it would be, I think, good if you sort of say a few concluding words about what exactly your plans are for this year. And I think then we can maybe conclude this.
No, well, most certainly. Say thank you so much for coordinating this AMA. Very excited, right, to hear about this partnership. We see a bright future in India in general, right? I think that a lot is going to next couple of years. We talked about this a little bit, but I'd like to say to is thank you for being such a valued part of our success. The very heartbeat of Floki is the community, and we're we're here together. If you're tuned in and you're not part of the Floki community, just follow us on the socials, jump on a VC, and just hear us out. Hear what we're doing. Ask any questions, and I would strongly urge people to go check out on our roadmap. This year, important. We're launching our own staking platform. Valhalla will be in a mainnet in the last quarter of the year. We're recording like phase 4, but Chinese version of Valhalla, right? So this is like always like looking forward. We like to plan like looking way beyond the horizon. There's also that's coming, so like we're constantly delivering regardless of how long this bear market. These are milestones that we have throughout the rest of the year. University of Floki. So I mean, there's so much, right, that if you blink, you might miss something on socials, and I promise you won't miss out on a thing.
Okay, so make sure all of you who is listening, you don't miss out on anything, and stay tuned for all the updates that are coming in. And a big thank you from behalf of WazirX to the Floki team for this partnership. We are as excited as you are. And I think today's session comes to an end with this. And thanks so much for joining in. This is for our audience, and attending this session and adding to all the excitement that we have right here. Okay, so we'll see you on our next session. Thank you so much, and thanks, Pedro, once again. All right, bye bye.
Bye.